Good day all, welcome back to South Africa, and this is South African Prepper on a wet Monday, 30th of January 2023. So I want to share with you two bits of news that we as the preparedness community can learn from, and they're both from Russia. So before we jump into it, I just want to explain something. When you talk about a country is more or less like a body, okay? And the body consists out of various parts. Now, we have been taught that the government, okay, makes all of the decisions, and they are the brains of the outfit, but it shouldn't be like that. And when we refer to Russia, I see everybody says, yeah, Putin's army and Putin's Russia. Russia is more than one person, okay? It's a combined effort of the Russian nation to do what they're currently doing. So the first lesson that I've seen in the last week happening in Russia is that the Russian government have decided to open up the possibility for their citizens to buy more silver and gold. So what they've done is they've taken away value-added tax, and they've given some tax incentives, taken away some tax if you buy and sell gold and silver, in order for them to motivate the citizens to buy more gold and silver. Okay, so what can we learn from this? Okay, we can learn that this specific government is enabling their people to buy things of physical worth that they can put in their pockets, put in their storage, put in their crates, okay, for a rainy day. And I do believe that the BRICS nations, which unfortunately we are part of in South Africa, okay, they are actively, because of the sanctions against Russia, fighting the petrodollar. They're fighting the dollar by buying gold and silver. Okay, they've bought a tremendous amount of gold and silver in the last year, 2 years, 3 years. In actual fact, the last 5 years, even before the war, Russia and China has been buying the gold and silver like absolutely crazy, because they are preparing their people for what is coming. And when a collapse happens, your money, your dollars, your rands, your rubles, your euros will mean absolutely pounds, will mean zero if it's inside of the bank. And this is the lesson that we can learn from Russia at this stage. Now, a whole lot of people are going to scream, but we shouldn't learn any lessons from Russia. Okay, we are not pro-war. We are pro-people. We are pro-countries that actually defends their citizens and their identities. So Russia said no to the woke idea. All of this, I don't know what I am. I'm confused, people. Okay, and they're enabling their people, and they're telling their people to go and buy silver and gold. So there's a lack of silver in the world because silver is used commercially in a lot of electronics. It's used in solar panels. So there's a lack of silver in the world. And when there's a lack of something, the price goes up. So when eventually everything collapses, doesn't matter where you are in the world, okay, you can decide, do you want your money in the bank where somebody's going to tell you what you can and cannot buy? Or are you going to have a physical piece of gold that you can put in your pocket, put in your crates, okay, and use? It's quite simple to be part of the preparedness community. And then the second thing that happened in Russia, or that Russia did, was they sent one of these big warships into neutral waters next to the eastern coast of America. And I think the Americans were shitting themselves, because apparently this ship has got hypersonic missiles that could reach certain cities in America. Okay? And all Russia was doing, and I believe I've done some research on this, is just show the world, listen guys, we are here, okay? Take note of us. Stop bullying us. Stop the sanctions. Stop the war. We want peace. But if you don't want peace, we're going to crush you. Now, recently, Germany, Britain, and America decided to send tanks. So, according to wartime law, if somebody intervenes in a war or sends supplies, they are actively involved in the war. So the opposition country in the war is then allowed, according to international war time law, that they can actually attack them. So I do know that the Americans, the British, the NATOs, the Germans, they all know about this. This is why the Germans has been kicking against sending Leopard tanks. But like Putin said, all of these tanks, they burn the same. So instead of talking peace, the NATO countries are sending in tanks and equipment. They don't want this war to stop. So go, if you can afford it, even if you buy small quantities of silver and gold. Yes, you guys, it's invaluable. Even if you do not need it one day, you can still later on go and sell it and recuperate your money, because resources, physical resources, are going to get less and less. And this is what we as a preparedness community are gearing up towards, is the lack of resources. So let's learn from Russia. Let's, if we can, buy gold and silver, even if it's smaller coins, even if it's smaller valued gold. It's better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. This is South Africa Prepper. God bless.